What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing pretty good. So today's video is going to be about sprinting. Yes, how to run fast and what exercises you can do in the gym with weights which can have the direct transfer to your sprint so that you can run faster and have that edge over your opponents in the game or in your track and field sport. So the two exercises I'm going to show you which you should do to have the direct transfer to your sprint training. So without any further ado, let's start and jump on the first exercise. So the first exercise we're going to see here is Nordic curls. Yes, Nordic hamstring curls are very important exercise. It helps to increase your femoris fascial length in your hamstrings, and Nordic hamstring curls are much more eccentrically overload exercises. That means that when you do eccentrically, when you overload this exercise, your hamstring with this exercise eccentrically, it will be more effective than you implement it more concentrically. So there was a study done in the Journal of Sports and Medicine where it showed that 17 to 27% of the fascial length contribution was due to this Nordic exercises. Either it was Nordic eccentric overload exercise or just regular Nordic hamstring curls. And the only bigger ratio than this was actual sprinting, which is very obvious. And there is actually shown that when you strengthen your hamstring, because when you run, when you sprint, actually as the speed increases, your activation of your hamstrings also increases. So it is very important to increase the strength of your hamstrings, and there is no better exercise than Nordic hamstring curls. So now how to do hamstring curls? Now how to do Nordic hamstring curls? Now if your gym have this Nordic hamstring pads or the machine where you can do this curl, it's perfectly alright. And if you don't have, you can do like I'm doing in this video. You can load the bar with the weights and you can put the pad behind your heels and you can do the Nordic hamstring curls. Now a lot of you have complained that you don't feel your hamstrings while doing this exercise, or there's a pain or a little bit uncomfortableness at back of your knees when you're doing this exercise. So the one tip I can give you is that you can have a little bit of hip flexions before starting the movement. So as you start the movement, just have little bit hip flexion from your hips and then start eccentrically loading your hamstrings and count until 4 seconds or 5 seconds and then come back up with the support of your hand and again do eccentrically loading this exercise. Now a lot of you have more strength and you will be doing this exercise for a very long time. You can do concentrically as well. So what I'll suggest is that if you can do concentrically, don't just concentrate on that. Put more intensity to this exercise. Add weights, hold the weight through your chest as I'm holding this medicine ball through my chest, and do eccentrically overloading, because this exercise, if you want to reap the most benefit of this exercise, you need to do it more eccentrically than concentrically. So if you can do concentrically, load it with weights and increase the intensity of this exercise. So the first exercise is Nordic hamstring curls. It is very important to increase your sprinting ability. The second exercise is hip thrusters. Now the main muscle which contributes to our sprinting is our glute maximus, that is our glute muscle, because in sprints there is lot of our hip extension. So when there is hip extension, you need to produce force from your glute maximus, because apart from hamstrings, the major muscle we have at the back of our body is our glutes. When you see the sprinting, so your glutes need to fire, your glutes need to be strong, and that is how you produce that horizontal and vertical force. And which exercise activates more glutes, have more glute activation, is hip thrusters. In a study where they measured the activation of glute maximus in 3 different exercises, so they took hip thrusters, split squats and back squats, and it was shown that hip thrusters has the more EMG activation of glute maximus. So that shows that glute maximus has the more activation in hip thrusters rather than other exercises. There is also one systematic review done in Journal of Sports Science and Medicine where they took 8 different studies, and checked or measured the activation of different muscles while doing barbell hip thrusters, and glute maximus was the main activated muscle, or the EMG activation of the muscle, glute muscle, was more than other 8 muscles. So glute muscle or glute maximus activation is achieved more in hip thrusters. And I have seen lots and lots of athletes and lots of videos on internet where they do glute exercise or hip thrusters loading the bar with like 300 pounds or 400 pounds. Yes, you can do that. That will have the direct transfer to your sprinting. But if you're a beginner, if you're just starting out, just learn the form, because it is very easy to not hit your glutes, not hit the targeted muscle in this exercise. So just learn the proper form, learn how to do hip thrusters, learn where to place your foot, learn how far your foot should be from your body, and how to recruit those glute maximus in this exercise. So these are the 2 exercises which is important according to studies. It's also important, and there is one more which is obvious, very obvious. If you want to increase your sprints, go and sprint. Yes, there is no direct transfer to anything by actually doing it. Unless and until you don't sprint, you don't do different kind of sprints, different distance of sprint or different intensity of sprint training, you won't be good at sprinting, or you won't be good at running fast. So apart from this 2 exercise, go and sprint, do sprint training. But if you want to achieve a good strong base to your sprinting, these 2 exercises are one of the best exercise to do to improve your speed in sprinting. So this is from my side, guys. I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you until next time. Goodbye.